Hi, everybody. We got a couple friends stop by. You've seen them in the comments before. Jason, Grant. Grant is his son. They come down to hang out and do some horse trading. So what we did is we dragged their junk out, and they brought their junk with them, and we done some horse trading. But first thing I want to let you know, we had a little 2-week break. We've had some family issues. Yeah, I'll make this short and sweet. Barb's daughter has got bone cancer. And, yeah, it's not repairable, but life goes on. Well, Barb ended up with a little problem in it at the hospital for a little bit. So she had tachycardia, rapid heartbeat. Blood pressure went right up with it, too. So we got her all fixed up. The old doc got his tools out, and away he went. And but her 150 beats a minute was way too fast, and it was she's been feeling bad for a while. Well, we found out why. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on, more than I didn't want to say a word till I knew what the outcome was going to be. So she's home. Her heartbeat is more normal, but we have a lot we got to deal with, and she can't do nothing. Well, if you guys would meet Barb, you would understand that was killing her. So I'm taking the slack up. Colin's taking the slack up. Barb's doing what she can, and everything's cool. We hope. So we should be part of the time out here in the shop again now, starting about right now. Well, anyways, he wanted a 56 bag. So you got that, didn't you?
Yes.
See? That's a good deal. It's a Magnum too. I didn't have the flywheel for it, but it's a beautiful saw, so we traded that for some old Macs. I know everybody likes Macs. Well, let me show you what we got. We got this. I like to hold them there long enough, maybe I get a good thumbnail. We got compression. We got 2 of these. Now I can't turn it over. Before I was wheeling it, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Maybe it likes me.
Well, I think that compression release might not be sealing up super tight, but...
Yeah, I had to yank on that and kind of twist that and get that into a spot. So we think we got something here. Both of these actually have a single jet carb, and the saw is fairly intact, missing the side cover. I'm not going to be concerned about that. This one's got its tongue hanging out. Another one. I haven't wheeled this one over. I said, well, you get what you get when you get these old Macs, don't you? And they might be something or they may not. Oilers, that's pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
I didn't even try it.
I didn't either. Same thing. This one's got the side cover on it. But that's pretty cool. Now, I'll tell you what's really cool. Look at this. When I said we swap parts, I told you its tongue was hanging out. When we swap parts, I meant parts. I'm not going to drag everything out. Here's the third one for parts. Yeah, we got some parts here. It's fairly intact in the bottom end.
You might send that cylinder out and have it plated. I don't know, and they didn't pull it out.
Another cylinder. This is a 125.
I'd like to know if it's a 105.
10.
If it's a 105, it's considerably more valuable anyway. The 105s, you don't find any 105s. Rare. I think Buchan might have one, but it's just not around.
Pretty cool, huh? Little break. If this was the only one left in the world, we could repair that. We could weld that very carefully with that cold rod and fix that. But as long as still parts available, we find them around here anyway. Another muffler.
Mouse nest in that muffler's free.
I didn't get the mouse.
I'll give you that. Well, I don't know. He might be in there. You can keep him if he is.
I'll put him in the bale. I'll put him in the bale. Another air cleaner cover. Another one. Another gas tank. With, I don't know if you can see that. That's got the 2-jet carb.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you I know why that. This saw was probably almost blowed up on that.
Probably. All the stuff come from down in northeast PA.
Really?
Well, the company's not in business anymore, but it was their stuff, and they ran McCullough's. Ran them out of Montrose, PA. That's where all the stuff came from, dude.
What was the company name?
Traders in Montrose.
Really?
I believe is what the name of it was. I actually had, and I should have donated it to Bucking, but sorry, Bucking, somebody offered me the right money for it. I had to let it go. A Super Pro 80.
Really?
That came from that place. Yeah, I had a Super Pro 80 that came from that I had going and ran, but one of those deals where they offered me the right amount of money, so it went.
You know what? There's a lot of things I don't like about Mag. I'll be really honest. But their dogs worked. They weren't too aggressive, but that right there in big timber, that would hook right in.
Yep.
And then smaller timber, this one. And smaller yet, this one.
The only thing I couldn't figure out with these saws is they had those saws and ran 16-inch bars on them. I couldn't.
Who does that?
Well, on that saw, I mean, if you're gonna run that, why wouldn't you just have a 1010 or something? And I don't want to offend anybody because I'm sure the people do, but
Say it like it is, man.
that just kind of struck me odd. I don't know why you do that, but that's what they had on 16s. I just, for some reason, I can't get my head around that. I don't know why. But there's a lot of good usable parts in that stuff.
There's more parts than just this one saw in here.
Mm-hmm. You might rummage around in there and find enough to complete the two.
I might even find me a cookie. I want a cookie.
The mouse has probably already got the cookie.
I'm not real familiar with 125's. Another 2-jet carb. A broken thing.
Anti-vibe mount, but that little arm is broke.
That mount is damn nice in that, isn't it?
Yep. I never had a 125 before, so I wasn't familiar with that anti-vibe and how it was set up. And I never had one until these, so I've got a 740 McCall, and that does not have that. That's rigid mount, same design, but they're not.
Isn't it funny? Even then, no matter what the brand of the saw is, the different state evolution of what you find.
Yep.
And about the time you think, well, I know these 1 series saws by heart, all of a sudden one will throw you a ringer.
Yep.
Because you find out that it was built for a large business that had specific tasks, and the saw's different.
Right.
And you don't see that anymore. They just take it for bid. You get what you get for the color you get. That's it. But it didn't used to be that way.
Well, when this deal come across,
I think that's a good recoil.
when they said they were 125s, I was somewhat hesitant because you don't see them in this area too much.
No, we never had 125.
So I was somewhat hesitant when it come across, but I guess like everything else, you gotta, okay, we'll see what happens, and now they're 125s.
They're definitely 125s. Interesting stuff here. It's a good thing I got a couple that's pretty intact. I'd never know what these. Well, you know what we ought to do?
You do a lot with that right there, and there's almost enough you could.
Oh, I got crazy ideas. I'm not going to mention them right now, guys. I think this is going to be pretty freaking cool. Tell everybody where you're from.
Well, we're from Windsor, New York, which is about 2 hours east of where Harvey's at here, Iron Horse. And we're right on the PA line. Well, actually, we're probably closer than you are, right on the PA line, so that's why you got a lot of PA stuff that comes through. But
Oh, them PA loggers used to use 125.
that's where these were, down in Hartford, Gibson area, Pennsylvania. That's where those saws came from. And I got another one with this stuff with a 171. There's actually two of them. There was a saw and a part saw. And the story behind it, believe it, don't believe it, whatever. The 171 is the boss man. That was his. Nobody ever got nobody ran it. He couldn't touch it, and it sat in the office unless he was running it. And then the fellow that had this stuff when they were closing up shop got everything. Supposedly they never ran it, didn't do anything with it. Whether it's gonna run, it's not gonna run. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. If I can get it going, then maybe I'll send it off to somebody that'll do something with it and whatever. I don't know. In my spare time, if we can get that one going, that one's it's pretty nice and
I
complete.
got a feeling that's gonna run.
I'm
not gonna jinx it though.
I'm gonna poke at bucking right now, but these macaws are just fickle. When they work, they work. But from not working and working, you can. If I had hair, I'd pull it out.
I think Bucket will tell you the same thing. You know what the difference is? He can work out him on a tailgate of his truck with a pair of pliers, and we don't know him as well as people like him.
I could probably work on it on the tailgate, but I don't have the parts inventory he's got.
No,
that's the difference right there. The parts inventory.
I remember we had a couple Macs on the farm, and the one wouldn't start until it was quite warm out. And the other one would start right up like a blaze of glory, and it was great until you shut it off and it wouldn't restart.
Yeah.
Well, we know now what it is. The needle's too high in the carburetor, and it was flooding itself.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, by that time, we used them for cutting fence posts mostly, and it was good for that.
Hard on them. Locust.
The only thing we did was white oak. We had a lot. Of white oak poles. It was just a perfect size to do quarter or half or something, and make nice posts. We used white oak. Our locusts that we had, I didn't like doing none of that.
We had a lot of locusts made posts out of, and that stuff's just. How can you have a tree that dies when it gets 16 inches round? It dies, but you can shade the outside off, make a fence post out of it, stay in the ground for 40 years.
And they do, don't they?
Why?
I
Why
know.
is that?
And did you ever split them? We never did.
Yeah, it's
we did if we got any straight ones, which you never did. But we saw them in half on a sawmill.
Yeah, we didn't have a sawmill. You let them freeze in the wintertime.
Then you can split them.
Split them when
That's
they're
right.
frozen.
You can split them when they're froze.
Cut them up and lay them on the ground. They'll draw water and freeze. Then you split them. That's how you.
Now we go to the farm store and buy cedar posts that come out of Canada.
Yeah, they don't last. Cedar posts don't last as long.
They don't, do they?
Nope.
Ours do.
If you got homegrown cedar, it'll last long.
No, we get them out of that out of the farm store.
I
they always fall in a 55-gallon barrel about half full of oil all winter.
I'm not going to comment.
We got to drag them out. I don't know how that
happens.
They just fall in there.
Not commenting.
I know. You can't do that,
Too many people watching. I'm not commenting.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But
hey, they like two strokes. We showed them a few things. We showed them our bikes. Hey, what did you think of the bikes?
Bikes are. If anybody wants to learn anything about a bike, call them and talk to them about that Mako. You need to understand what a Mako bike is. You just don't see them, as I said to you a while ago. You just don't see them in this area.
Yeah.
And there's one right there, and that's pretty nice. If you know what that is, that's a pretty nice bike. Yeah. Those little RM370s, well, they're not little. I guess I shouldn't have said it that way, but in today's world, they're little.
But they're short. They look like a toy, don't they?
But that was quite a stepping stone in a bike.
370 was. That's Suzuki.
Quite a stepping stone.
Yeah,
the
Suzuki
in the
370.
Bikes, it's, quite a jump.
Yeah.
But that's where it's at. And like you always say, these engines are. It's a motorcycle engine. Motorcycle engine, it changes. It
all transfers. It really does.
Same thing. I mean, there's some different components, but same principle.
We're gonna get these guys into porting their own saws. You know that. You're gonna do it, ain't you?
Oh, I got a couple projects that.
Give it a.
You know what it is? Taking that leap of faith. That's what it is.
It's science. It's a matter of fact. It's what it is. It's just science. You'll do just beautiful. Make sure you know what your degree wheel is. That's all you got to do. Once you got faith that you hit them top dead center and don't bump it, all of a sudden the whole thing makes sense. Just don't even start porting until you got that right down on where everything opens and closes. And write your numbers down and you'll be great. Okay, we're going to cut this video short. I know I got some things I got to do for Barb. but I thought we'd show you what horse trading was, and neither one of us ended up with anything that actually runs, which is the fun part. It's the fun part.
That's the part of it right there. Now you
Diagnosis.
got to take what you got and go make something out of it,
Yeah.
right?
We had most of the parts for an old steel 44, not 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter, and so we give that to him. We're gonna mail him a care pack because I'm gonna dig up a few more choice items, and we're gonna see more of each other. I know we will.
Oh yeah, we got some more
And
stuff going on that we'll get squared away here as the weather gets better and get doing things, and we're always coming up with stuff, and you just never know. You always find stuff when you're not looking for it, or it finds you, I guess.
well, what's nice is you're a chainsaw guy. So you like the old stuff and the new stuff, and parts. People get to know that parts come to you, saws come to you.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I have to go out and start hunting, I hit a wall.
Yep.
You gotta kind of just let it happen. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what happened to us with that John's Red. We got that John's Red. Nothing, it was thrown in with another deal, and just for the sake of argument, I cleaned it up and see if it would run. My dog, if it doesn't run, but missing parts. And so far, I'm hitting a block wall in our area finding John's Red. It's
What size is that you're looking for?
66 or 70. They're saying
Okay, all right.
66
I know
or
where
70.
there's some of that stuff. I was actually going to drive right by it going by. It's an Amish saw shop down the road there about 15 miles, but they will not talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's
But what is it? Looks like a barn, long tin building on the right. I think Yoder's. Notice that's got a great big barn loft. Ain't nothing but shelves and shelves and shelves of chainsaws in there.
that's the kind of
And,
place I probably need to stay away from. My wife tells me I'm getting a bucking fever of having saws hanging. I don't have pictures of stuff, but we got 50 or 60 of them now. So
Is that all?
yeah,
I think he's got more than I do. I got rid of a bunch here recently.
we just counted up the other day. There's, I think I want to say 18 or 19. You pour gas in and go cut usable, not parts, running right there, ready to go, and that's when it becomes a sickness when you hit 20. So I'm like, 1 or 2 off of that, so we don't have the sickness.
That's what happened. Okay, guys, I'm really glad you guys showed up. I'm glad you showed up on the channel. I've missed you. We will be listening to you in the comments. Have a good day. Goodbye.